Welcome to another episode of Why Are There So Many Aesthetics and How the Heck Am I Supposed to Keep Up With This Shit? I'm your host, local celebrity figure, and the house band, and my name is 𝚓𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑, if that wasn't already super obvious from my channel name. Today I'm walking you through a 7-step guide on how to mix the aesthetics of your choice. If you're here to mostly figure out what your aesthetic is, I already have a video on that you can go and watch first. Oh, and I won't be discussing the lifestyle aspects of these aesthetics because I know most of you guys are more into the fashion side of aesthetics, but you can apply the same rules of this video to the lifestyle aspect as well. Without further ado, let's jump right in. 1. Check if there is already an existing subcategory of your desired mix. Often we don't realize that there are multiple layers to each big aesthetic. A prime example of this is academia and royalcore. While each of them have a couple main subcategories, they actually already have an existing mix that contains aspects of both aesthetics. This is called royal academia. The same can be said for fairycore and academia, which when mixed form fairy academia. 2. If there is no existing mix of your aesthetics, try identifying the main elements of each aesthetic first. As a general example, I will be using cottagecore and mermaidcore for this video. You can pick and choose elements of each aesthetic that you like the most and find a balance on how to style them. If you're having any trouble doing so, try creating a visual mood board of each aesthetic first, and then create a mood board where you add elements of both aesthetics and see what looks good for you. You can do this on Pinterest or on your computer, whatever's easiest. So with my example, cottagecore focuses on long frilly dresses and earthy colors, whereas mermaidcore has a focus on V-neck cuts, slits, and an aquatic color palette. Using these elements will help you identify which aspects of each aesthetic you want to use when mixing them. For example, pearl jewelry and a seashell-shaped bag mixed with a cottagecore-inspired dress is one of the many ways you could mix the two. I usually tend to mix my aesthetics with the stronger preference of an aesthetic acting as the main piece in my outfit. Did you just meow? Stop meowing. 3. Choose a few key colors from both aesthetics. For example, if you like ocean blue and sage green, use these two to complement each other in an outfit, whether that's mixing them with your choice of clothes or just using one of the colors for accessories. In my case, I would be mixing blues and pinks together, as those are the two colors that I think could complement one another in moderation. I don't recommend trying to pair colors that are polar opposites of one another, such as neon yellow and muted purple. Depending on your desired mix, of course, feel free to experiment. In some cases, focusing only on one or two colors works best, such as a mix of cottagecore and minimalism. I'm using as an example this black dress as the main piece and only adding a couple small accessories. The outfit is simple yet elegant and a mix of both worlds. Of course, if you wanted to add more of the cottagecore element, you could mix in some blue or green to bring more color into the outfit. Just have a look around your closet and see what colors you tend to gravitate towards and how they could work with each other. 4. Look at the details of textures, fabrics, makeup, accessories, and any other aspects of the aesthetics. In the end, you want to have a cohesive and harmonious aesthetic mix, am I right? Right? That's not just me, right? Maybe you like chaotic, that's fine too. Everything's fine. Anything goes here. In order to make the two work, you can't forget about the details that you need to think about. Again, you can use a mood board to help notice what your preferences of each aesthetics are. For example, I like light and flowy materials which are very prominent in mermaidcore, so I would prioritize fabrics like silk, satin, and chiffon. 5. Don't be afraid of mismatching, making mistakes, or going outside of your comfort zone. Everything requires experimentation before you reach a satisfying end result. Don't be afraid to combine the leather pants with that puffy flower pattern top you probably have sitting in your closet. Finding the right style and combinations always takes time, so please be patient with yourself. I'm not patient with myself. 6. Confidence. Anything can feel a little out of place and uncomfortable at the beginning, but confidence can really make or break an outfit. I can make a whole different video about how to build confidence, but my biggest tip is to not constrict yourself within a box. When I try out something I'm curious about, I may not feel like myself at the beginning when I'm trying on those clothes. However, any adjustment period feels awkward, but the best thing you can do to yourself is stop saying, "This isn't me, I can never be this," especially if you truly desire an aesthetic that you've never tried out before. For example, I tend to lean towards fairycore and minimalism these days, and a couple years ago I would have never said that I would be trying to pull off chunky freaking sneakers. What? Who is she? Yeah, that's right, the imposter syndrome. I am still trying to find my perfect mix of soft and edgy. Soft and edgy. And when I've shopped for clothes and felt disappointed, I remind myself that this is just one item that doesn't work for me. There's a whole bunch of items that could totally work. And you need to remind yourself that a failed shopping trip or outfit experimentation does not mean that it's the end of the world. And it does not mean that you're never capable of pulling off another style, because you are. 7. Friends. Imagine there's a friend here. I cannot emphasize how important and valuable it is to have friends who help you look outside the box. I have recently become kind of obsessed with the whole concept of friends styling one another, like one of them styling you as a baddie and then you maybe styling them in pastel or something, because I think it's interesting how others can see you wearing a style that you could never imagine pulling off. I have friends who have told me that I could probably pull off wearing the baddie style, and yeah, have you seen my old videos? But I want to trust them to help me and guide me, no matter what aesthetic I may feel uncomfortable with or like scared of or whatever. Like, I just need to try these things. What I also do is I reach out to friends that I trust when I am trying a new outfit mix and I ask them for their honest opinions. A lot of the times, if something in the outfit doesn't work, they think of something I hadn't considered, and that can help me tweak the outfit for a better result. Your friends may also notice that you have a preference of one aesthetic over another, and they can also help you identify how you want to mix your aesthetics. Bottom line is, learn to identify what you really like about each aesthetic and learn to style based on those choices as well as what works for your body shape and body type. Don't be afraid of mistakes, keep going, you got this. Good luck with your aesthetic mix, and I'll see you next time.